formation. This moment marks the beginning of an archive, one that connects past, present, and future. I care about sharing knowledge, especially knowledge of the kind that is often overlooked. I want to record voices that are too often unseen and unheard. So welcome to my archive. Welcome to the Cake Sessions. Archiving for me is not an arrival. It's not about reaching an end or making a polished piece of work. It's not about a final product, and it's not a big dance piece. It is instead about a process, a living, breathing, unfolding thing. You are not here to witness a fixed piece. You are here to witness the baking, the kneading, the making, a witnessing of a physical archiving as it happens in real time while we are here together. What will I, what will you carry forward in our bodies? What stories, movements, resistances, and joys will live on, not only in these documents or digital files, but in breath, in blood, in memory, etched into skin and muscle. A linear sense of time through the body as the keeper of knowledge. This is what I call the embodied archive, a translator of layered experience from the past into the present, and perhaps, if we listen closely, into the future. We are often told to focus on the outcome. But here, now, I invite you to celebrate the process. Not the arrival, but the becoming. Not the cake, but the recipe. The care it took to knead, to stir, to wait. Those who have written all those recipes on old stained pieces of paper ripped on one side without measurements. Grandmothers, mums, friends. Because it is them who carry the important stories. I believe it is important, deeply important, to tell stories about embodied joy. Stories that have too often been overheard or made unimportant. Stories that exist not only in words, but in gesture, in posture, in shared rhythm and touch. Rituals that evolve, failures that make us laugh, encounters we learn from. These are the things worth celebrating, and to tell them is a radical act. Let's take seriously the idea that the body is an archive, a living record of struggle, resilience, celebration, and pleasure. When we incorporate experience into our bodies, truly inhabit it, we allow ourselves to be shaped by it, to incline our bodies towards stories of pleasure. And when we do that, something changes. The way we might see loss shifts. The way we understand struggle softens. The path to resilience widens. Because joy, true, embodied, simple joy, is political. often prioritizes pain, joy becomes resistance. We can gather force if we are able to access memories that strengthen us. It is the basis for our ability to resist, to persist, to move forward, whole. To pay attention to the textures, the layers, the smoothness and sponginess of our world. This may appear simple, a gesture, a smile, a shared homemade cake, but it is deeply complex, a choreography of care, an ethics of attention, a practice of presence. And so we carry forward, we listen, we remember, we move, we dance.
Ja, dass man immer in guter, froher Runde zusammensitzt und sich unterhält, viel erzählt. Ja. Ja, früher hat man noch viel weniger Zeit gehabt, um das mit den Kindern, sagen wir mal, zu reden oder sich zu, ja, weil viel mehr Arbeit da war. Und dann war es immer schön, wenn ein Kuchen da stand und man sich zusammensetzte und den Kuchen gegessen hat. Froh sein, verträglich sein und ja, sich auch umeinander kümmern müssen.